and welcome to Radio Works World. This is Mareli Scott, your authenticity host. Marina, thank you again for having me back on your show to share my personal experience. And I hope you had a wonderful week. I had the privilege to attend a breakfast with TD Jakes over the weekend, and he shared so much wisdom with us that I would like to share with you guys over the next couple of weeks. But one thing he said reminded me of you, Marina, and of the vision you have for Radio Works World as well. And he said we all have a responsibility to not just focus and care about our own agendas. Are you still there?
I am. I'm taking notes.
Okay.
Very exciting.
Okay, so last week we discussed why authenticity isn't as common as you might think. And we said that authenticity is being true to the best version of yourself. But in order to become the best version of yourself, you need to grow into it. And in order to grow, you need to push your comfort zone. And I used my box theory to explain this and how you can push your comfort zone. And I gave some homework. So if you missed that recording, you can get it on the YouTube channel, Facebook page, and here on radioworks.world. So you can do that. Today, I will discuss how you can be victorious on your journey to authenticity. Because authenticity isn't a destination, it's a journey, it's a commitment that you make every day in everything you do, almost every minute of every day. And it's not as natural as you might think. You actually will swim, it's swimming upstream and going against the norm. So it's actually not an easy task. So it's very important. And this is something, one of the key aspects I want to focus on today is that it's very important to have people in your life to support you on this journey. Because if I look back on my journey, that's still going, I'm still on the journey, but the worst times I got through, yes, there's a lot of things that I did. I pushed my comfort zone and I conquered a lot of my fears. But if I take a closer look at my journey, there were always people that influenced me positively in some way, encouraged me, or believed in me. And this it's very important to have someone like that in your life on this journey because it's not easy. And this can be a family member, it can be a friend, a business partner, even a stranger that just give you a compliment at the right time. And maybe this person wouldn't even realize that they had an impact on your life, and some might know it. And it could also be a role model or a mentor or a business coach. um, Even if you look at Hollywood celebrities and A-listers and some of the most successful people in life, if you ask them, they had at least, most of them, at least one person who made a difference in their life or inspired them. And so, yeah, the point I'm trying to make is it's very important to get someone, accountability partner, or just to line your friends as well and to acknowledge them, and not only to use them, but it's also important for each one of us to inspire and encourage others as well, um, and our friends with their own visions. And it's very important to create relationships like that. For me, my mom still is and was one of the biggest influences in my life and accountability partners. She knows me very well. She knows my vision and who I really am and who I aspire to be. So whenever I do something, even if it's just a Facebook post, she would, or I act out of character, she would tell me, listen, that's not, remember where you're going, remember who you are. And that's really important. It really helps you, especially when you don't realize that you're starting to get back to your box, or you start doubting yourself, or the voices in your head gets a bit negative, a bit louder. It's really awesome to have someone that can bring your attention to it. And I have friends like that as well. And another person that also had a was my first teacher in high school. When I really struggled and I didn't have any friends, um, I would walk around during break time because I didn't have anybody to sit with, and I didn't want people to make fun of me. So I asked her if I can stay in a class during break times and do homework or something, and she let me do that. And she she was in a similar situation at that time. She was also a new teacher at the school, and also trying to get to fit in with the other teachers. So she really supported me as well. She understood me, and yeah, gave me a lot of love. Um, Actually, there's a quote from Dr. Nira Kubain, the president of High Point University, that I read the other day, and it sums all of this I said now perfectly. It sums it up perfectly. It says, listen to the authentic voices of encouragement in your life. Some of the greatest success stories of history have followed a word of encouragement or an act of confidence by a loved one or a trusting friend. How powerful is that?
Wow. I love Dr. Quiben, and I've been to High Point University, and he
Wow.
created a place out of this world. At the time, I was thinking, it's just 3 years ago, and I was thinking, why on earth I did not know about this when my children were younger? That was my only regret. I'm thinking, but
Sure.
surely my grandchildren, that they will aim that way. It's just it's his soul. I think Dr. Kuben is the perfect example that prove that authenticity is a virtue, and he is the soul of authenticity.
Oh,
The way
yes.
he talks, the way he moves, the way he smiles, the way he came to me and he said, you are Marina. And to me that was like, oh my god, I felt like I cannot get any better than this. He spoke to me. So
Wow.
I did not expect it, and it was just he was walking. I never had the privilege of sitting down with him, but I listened to him. I read his books. I'm listening to his audios, and I watch the videos, and each time, every single time, is as if
Mhm.
he's in front of me. So that is the soul of authenticity. That proves that authenticity is a virtue. Over to you, Mareli.
Wow. And I must say, he is an amazing person. I watched a few video clips of him, and I've so much respect for him. And he's such a humble, wise person, and really, really, like I say, he resembles authenticity. Um, so there are actually 6 keys for me personally that I would like to share with you to being victorious on this journey, or to help you be victorious on this journey to authenticity. And number one is um, to have accountability partners, or to create a support system for yourself if you don't have it. If you have it, use it. And like I said earlier, don't just use it, also, I believe in paying it forward. So don't just take from people, you will drain people. Don't drain people. Also, give back. Like people inspire you, inspire others as well, and really, um, really care about their visions, where they're going as well. And we all have people um, in our life, or that we cross path with, or we meet even at a network event. It's so easy to think, what can we get from this person, or what can this person do for me, or we want compliments from them. That Do you want to say something?
Now, I was thinking that I love the way you become. Each other week, you become stronger, and you have perhaps not noticed, but you have an impact on yourself, because perhaps listening to yourself makes you understand who you are, and makes you realize how long of a journey you already made. Because hard times generate the desire for authenticity, and it's like opening the gates. The fact that you've been through a tough experience at least once in your life, that helps you. And
Mm,
you are giving back so much, and you are living by your own principles. You really have something that nobody else could ever have, and you are sharing that. It's like you give out of your magic to everyone else, and you are not thinking, you know, you have to do this, or this is for a reason, or somebody told you to do this. It's purely because you are so pure heart. And I think
mm.
an authentic soul needs a pure heart. And you definitely have that. Over to you, Marily. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. I had to say it.
Wow, Marina, thank you so much. It really, really means so much to me to hear you say that. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, and it's like you say, every week when I talk, I um, I do realize how far I've come, and that I'm also still stretching my comfort zone. And it really makes me, it's also therapeutic for me, because I didn't plan on saying everything I'm saying. It's just coming out.
Yeah, it is. So you are carrying this message, and the more you give, the more you have, and it's like so
Yes,
abundant that you can't help it anymore. It's unstoppable.
very true. Yes. um, so at point one, where I said you need accountability partners and create a support network. Like I said earlier, as well, think about a stage in your life when even a stranger gave you a compliment. Um, Maybe it was a day you really felt ugly or depressed, and someone just said, "You look lovely," or "I love your hair," or "I love your smile," or "Oh," big compliments like you just gave me. So imagine how that feels, and I think I thought yesterday. I think it's very important to remember how that feel, so you can give it to someone else as well, and focus on others as well. That's something I try to do or focus more on these days. A lot of times we have compliments in our head. We're thinking positive things about other people, but we don't always say it, and we don't know how it can influence their lives, and how much they need it. So I'm trying to focus. This is not what I plan to say, but I'm trying to
Say it.
focus
Go.
these days more on, if I think something in my head about someone, if it's a stranger or a friend, something positive, or if a compliment, to just say it, to tell it to that person. It's so easy to say something negative about someone, or behind their backs, or even give compliments about someone, to someone else, but go directly to that person or send a message and just say that. It might mean the world to them. Okay, number two. um, Set yourself manageable goals to conquer your fears. So um, it's very important that you set goals that you can achieve. So if you, like I said last week, if you have a specific fear for something, let's say public speaking, you have to
Okay,
start
so
somewhere.
right now maybe we should just explain to our listeners. So this Marley is not talking about external goals, the ones you could go and borrow money and buy a new dress or a new pair of shoes or a new car, or get a mortgage and buy a house. So we are
Yes,
talking
just
about
yes.
looking inside into the mirror and turn yourself into a window. This is what we are talking about. Over to you, Marley.
Yes, exactly. Actually, sorry, let me mix it around. Okay. Number one was, okay, get accountability partners, create a support network. Number two should actually be introspection. Then it's more clear. Introspection, and that goes hand in hand with me time. So I'll get back to the previous point. So you need to go and do soul searching. And like I said last week, you have to go and sit and listen to the voices in your head and think about situations and scenarios that you feel fear, in which you feel fear, or you really need to focus on that to conquer that. And that's number three, the goals that you need to set. Um, that's manageable. Don't if you have a fear of public speaking, and this is goals to become the best version of yourself. So like you said, it's inside, it's not outward goals. So let's say you have a fear for public speaking that most people have. Don't go and speak to 2,000 people for the first time or a whole stadium. You might never try anything again. Take baby steps. You need to push yourself. There will be a little bit of fear, but that's why I say set yourself manageable goals. For every fear you have that keeps limiting you or limiting beliefs, and then you can start by um, maybe even telling a joke when you are with other friends and you're not a person that will do that. You don't like the spotlight on you and you feel it's something that you need to work on. Tell a joke for a group of 10 people. And if it's terrible, then you learn from it. It's not the worst. Or maybe it's better if it's strangers then. And then each time you need to look for opportunities as well to keep moving that boundaries of yours, moving and moving it. And then number four, yeah, we are three, is you need to surround, it sounds almost like the previous one I said, but you need to surround yourself with positive people. No, you can't grow. Nothing can grow in a negative environment, and you will definitely not reach a success and become the best version of you if you're surrounded by people that are negative, skeptical, um, like small, closed-minded, small thinkers that they don't understand where you're going or what you want to achieve, or people that are, if we really go extreme, people that are abusive towards you or can't give you a compliment, that don't wish the best for you. You
But
need
you
to,
see, you see, I have to say this because cross my
yes,
mind right now, and I feel like I have to say it.
yeah, yeah,
You know, people are talking about mediocrity, and you know what? That doesn't exist. We all have the divine essence. Each one of us
yes,
got the divine essence. It's just some of us choose to use it and develop it and grow it and make it into a tree bearing fruits, and some other just choose to ignore it. So all these people who are as called negative or ugly and sucking the energy, the life out of you, I think best thing is to walk away, even if they're in your family, and
yes,
turn your back on them, because eventually they will follow you. But if you are
mm,
facing them and walking backward just for their own sake, you'll never, if you don't break free from that, y- they will never understand that there is more available. So in a way, you have to take responsibility for your choice of not being mediocre, of being the best version of yourself, as you said, and prove to those people that it's what is available to you, it's available to them. You become the proof for them.
exactly, yes. And like you said, you need to fire negative people in your life. It's not easy to do. Like you said, if it's a family member or a friend, um, like you don't have to be rude, but just start spending less time with them and start surrounding yourself with positive people. Go to if you can go to networking events, or if it's just listening or watching videos that's positive, and even the news can make you negative, but we won't go into that. It reminds me actually of another thing that TD Jake said on Saturday about haters. If we go to that extreme, haters are actually people that are frustrated with their own failures, And so they don't want others to be successful. They hate you for your success. But that's very, very extreme. But what's also nice is he said, how do you handle that? You need to teach them how you do it, and then they would stop hating. Because a lot of times when people don't understand something, and especially if you go against the norm that's mediocrity, because it's easier to just sit and do nothing. So if you go against that and they don't really know what you're doing, they a lot of people are just automatically they reject it or they're negative towards it and think you're weird.
Spot on, because you just said before the beginning that to impact and influence your life and the other people's life you care for and create better life choice, like I'm keep saying this, but I'm obsessed about getting results, is always about swimming upstream. So it's
Yes.
always swimming against the, it's almost like not fair, you're thinking, why I'm loving these people, why they hate me? But instead of thinking that they hate you, you better love them, and not love them, you become love. You show
Yes.
that you are made of love, you are love. What they are going to do about it? It's nothing they can do about it, you see.
Yes. And unfortunately, for some reason, us humans are programmed to think negatively. It's so much easier to be negative and skeptical than to be positive. So that's why we have to work so hard to be positive. Um, but that's how it
But
is.
you know why, but you know why this is happening. It's simply
Hmm?
because we are born to die. And of course, you know this. You see
Oh,
so
yes.
much distress around you. You see everybody. You see that actually you are powerless, and you see that, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die anyway. What's the point? So this is when you have to start building your self vision, your own image in your own mind. So yes, let's make the best of it. Between now and then, I have plenty of time. 100 seconds, 100 years, doesn't matter. It's what I'm doing with this time. I own um, my ability to do something with the time I have. And the time I have is not that much. The time I have left, it's nothing. It's like a second. And
Yes.
unless I work with that, because I don't own the time. I just own the ability of enjoying the time here on this planet and creating a legacy. So it's not, it's nothing to do with you, really. It's nothing, it's not about you. It's about what you create for others. And that, once you realize that, it's a total different game. You could really start creating new rules. You could create your own game, because it's worth it.
Wow. Yes. Wow. That's so true. Uh, and on the subject of positivity, number 5 is positive affirmations. If you can make use of that and at least every morning start your day off with positive affirmations, read it, listen to it. There are a lot you can get, anywhere in Google. I have that I also always use. Um, if you're listening to this and you want it, you can comment on. I think you can comment on this recording, or you can
Yes.
go to my,
Yes.
yeah, just say affirmation or something like that. So I will inbox it or email it to you if you want it. It's very powerful. And just to start your day off positive, it's very difficult if you start off negative to become positive later. When you're busy, because it's when you get busy, it's much easier to be negative, and when you get tired and everything. So you need to start your day off right. And then number 6, if you are a believer, scripture is also very important to me. Um, the more time you spend in God's word, and for me as well, the more you find your identity in Him as well. And that's very powerful. There's no person on earth that would ever know you better believe in you more or love you more than God does. And that's also a big part of my life. And then it doesn't matter what people around you are doing or thinking, or their opinions won't matter. If you're grounded in yourself, you're grounded in Him. And yes.
Wow. So we went through all the 6 steps
Yes.
to achieve victory, and
Uh-huh.
is inner victory, which is so much precious than anything else.
Yes.
And it's all about okay, you are in this moment in your life, and how do you get where you want to be? And as you explained, that you take smaller steps. You slice and dice that big challenge, and you make every single step a stepping stone.
Yes.
So all your points, accountability, introspection, setting goals, soul searching, surround yourself with great people, positive affirmation, and your beliefs are all about wrapping out your values and generating better actions. But I think one thing I would add, if you don't mind me
Yes.
saying
No.
this, would be ask yourself better questions.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Because you see, asking questions makes you think. The way you actually, I look at people, I listen to them, and I'm listening to their questions, and I know what I'm dealing with. You see,
Oh,
so but I learned to ask myself better question first. So having that dialogue, as you said, consider yourself. Why would you pay a compliment to a total strangers and you are not capable of smiling at yourself? So it's the same with this. Ask yourself better questions. That it's amazing where that is going to lead you. It's just a
wow.
total different level. And
Yes.
I so love this journey. So to impact and influence, you have to be aware it's not easy. You are swimming upstream. That's it. And
Yes.
you basically have to grow into the person you could be. You have to grow into the person who can do that, who can achieve that, who can be his authentic self. But all you do, you look at Marley's steps and take them one by one, make them a stepping stone, and everything is going to change.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yes.
What is the key message for today, Marley?
Um, so I think the key message for today is that quote from Dr. Nida Kubain that ties everything up nicely. Um,
Can you read it again, please?
yes, I want to. Listen to the authentic voices of encouragement in your life. Some of the greatest success stories of history have followed a word of encouragement or an act of confidence by a loved one or a trusting friend.
Wow. Wow. Until next time, grow into your authentic self. From
Yes.
myself and beautiful, amazing, amazingly, wonderfully profound and smart and everything that you ever wish for is goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.